time to wake up. The show is about to start with lots of stories about blue and a bit of heart. When it comes to Joanne, well, you won't find no faults. But if you mess with her gold, you might get the Schultz. It's time for Morning. It's Morning with Bill and Joe. It's time for Morning. It's gonna be a heck of a show. It's Bill and Joe.
Hello and welcome to Morning with Bill and Joe. I'm Joe.
I'm a supporter. Joe, as we know in the industry, what does that mean?
I don't know. You have a speech impediment and
I'm a theater
you don't
supporter.
let that stop you. Oh, okay.
Well, there's that too. Let's not go back to the NGs. I'm a supporter and
Theater supporter. I get it. Yes.
And as a result, let's just get it over with. So, give us your thoughts on the
yes.
Tonys last night.
Okay. So last night was what Tonys? Oh, I'm already the worst supporter. Was it the 78th or the 75th Tonys?
You know, here's the thing: no one's going to fact check you.
Oh, but they might.
No,
they might.
won't.
I'm going to
No,
lose
they won't.
my theater card, also known as my actor's equity card.
By the way, this is like a serious question. Why are they called the Tonys?
It was the 78th Tony Awards, by the way.
Was like the first out actor in Broadway named Tony. Like, why are they called the Tonys?
Oh, damn! I knew this.
I do have you.
I think it is named after a person. Why are the Tonys?
He sounds like a member of the crew, though. He doesn't sound like a main actor. Like, yeah, Tony, he's over there. He's making the sets.
Okay, I did know this. Named after a woman. Named after Antoinette Perry.
Oh, gross.
She was born in 1888, died 1946. She was a celebrated actress, director, and producer. She co-founded the American Theater Wing, which puts on this awards show.
I'd still like to think it's a guy on the crew named Tony.
Well, why can't it be a woman on the crew, Bill?
You know very well why. You know my thoughts that you guys shouldn't even have the vote, much less act on stage. I'll tell you, when it was good in Shakespeare's time, when the guys played the chicks roles, they knew how to do it.
Speaking of, Cole, who is the lead in Oh, Mary.
Yes.
They won the Tony for lead performance in a play.
Excellent use of the terms.
And
congratulations to them, because I enjoyed that. That was a good one. I saw that.
Okay, but also maybe I'll try to I don't have a lot of time for editing today, but I'll try to put up an image of Cole's Tony look.
Oh, boy.
They were inspired by Bernadette Peters's dress at the 1999 Tonys, and it is just chef's kiss amazing.
Who would get this reference?
The level of camp and inside baseball or theater knowledge, just so great. So yes, Oh, Mary also won for direction. Best play went to Purpose, which is a Pulitzer-winning play, I believe. Best musical revival went to Sunset Boulevard. Best new musical went to Maybe Happy Ending, which I did see and was lovely. I think well-deserved. Best performance in a musical from a man was Darren Criss in Maybe Happy Ending. Female performance was Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
Which, she was up against Audra McDonald for her performance in Gypsy, which...
No, I didn't know that. Of course I knew that.
Yeah. And then who won for...
that would
female in a play. Now I can't remember. Dang. There's a lot. There was a lot. You can look it up.
By the way, get ready for a comprehensive take on the finals for our next episode after going through all of this.
Final what?
The NBA finals.
You can't call it the finals because final implies end, and this thing never ends.
Valid. Very valid.
Last thing about the Tonys, Cynthia Cynthia Erivo hosted. She famously is Elphaba in Wicked, the movie. But she was in the
Okay,
color.
yeah.
She was in the
Yes.
Color Purple on Broadway. She's a fabulous actress and singer. And God, her hosting was very funny. She had some funny bits, and she sang a lot. And her voice is incredible. Like every performance we saw on that Tony stage from nominees, she was better than all of them. Like leagues ahead. Her voice is unreal. So that was enjoyable.
So how does a supporter get down and dirty and really watch the Tonys? Did you get a little of your champs? That's cute. Speak for champagne. Were you in your cozy little getup on the couch? Like, what? How did you do it? Were you at a party?
Yeah, no, we were invited to a Tony party, which we said no to.
Of course.
I just wanted to sit on the
Cloud
couch.
City.
I didn't want to be out. Typically, I can't watch the Tonys because I'm bartending. But now that I've given that up, I was home on Sunday night, so I was able to watch. I had some wine pre-Tonys, not during, because, they're
exciting.
long and it was late and I got tired.
You should, by the way, just have the Joanne Ma thing on the ready for every show. You
I know.
That, yeah.
We did start it late, so I DVR'd it. We were watching some episodes of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel so that we got fast forward power, is what we call it.
Power.
And so
everyone has it.
every time the commercial starts, we use fast forward power, and we just go right through the commercials.
Again, this isn't a superhero thing, Joe. This is a regular option available to most Americans.
Yeah, but do you call it FFP? Because we do in our house.
All right. See,
fast
you
forward
guys
power.
make everything fun. You
Yep.
really do.
Pretty much.
Was there anything that you were extremely upset about? Somebody getting something that you felt really didn't deserve it? I mean, obviously they all deserve it, and there are no small parts. But was there anything that upset you? You obviously loved Cole's dress. Anything else?
The only thing that really bothered me was during the in memoriam, which they do in every
Sure.
awards show.
The Oscars, yes.
They had Cynthia Erivo and Sarah Bareilles sing together live. They sang a version of Annie's "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow." And as soon as they sang the first few notes of this song, I was like, you lost me. You lost me. I cannot stand the musical Annie. Granted, it was a nice, different version of the song, and they sounded lovely singing it. I just hate it. And I think that for most audiences, they either have a nice, pleasant reaction to Annie or, like me, a visceral hate of the musical.
Part of me thinks that this is extremely on brand for you to hate something as upbeat and delightful as Annie. But I will ask you, why do you hate something as upbeat and delightful as Annie?
I mean, who wants to hear small children belting really at any time of the day?
By the way, can I just go on record as saying I hate orphans? I assume that's not politically correct. I mean, most Americans think this.
You are on the record, documented as such.
There's a reason that people don't want them. I'm saying it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Annie had red hair. You know, that's not many people like the redheads.
You are going to get in trouble for that one right there. Well, I think we've done this story multiple times. You do know red-haired people are on their way to extinction. Like within the next less than 200 years, there will be no more red-haired people.
Interesting.
We are slowly but surely breeding them out. It's not using the term correctly, but it's, I think, a recessive gene or something. That sounds terrible, but it's something like that where we're slowly but surely breeding them out.
Well,
a little bit like blue-eyed people.
It makes me wonder what ended centuries before we arrived on this planet.
Tails.
Ooh.
And they also say another fun fact. Well, it's a fact. Much like red-headed people, there will come a point within the next couple hundred years where we will no longer have pinky toes. They've not been necessary for humans for many, many hundreds of years now. And if you notice, since we were on trees, the toe has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And one day it will cease to exist.
Yeah. Honestly, good. I think about
This is the hill you're
High-heeled
dying on?
shoes. Women's high-heeled shoes.
Oh.
My foot would feel a lot more comfy in that shoe if I did not have a pinky toe. So I'm all for it.
You're actually weirdly making a lot of sense today. I don't know what you had for breakfast, but yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
My counter argument would just be don't wear uncomfortable shoes, but that's an impossible thing for women to put their head around. So
Yeah, says the man who exclusively wears flip-flops for his bunions in the summer.
do you have any idea how much more I would complain about my bunions were I to wear high heels all the time? So if anything, I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah. How does one get bunions? Is that just hereditary?
Genetic. My mom had bunion surgery when I was very young, but mine are so bad that the bunion surgery would be so evasive that it's almost better for me not to have it until it just gets impossible to deal with. So
Oh.
I have the flattest feet you will ever see in your life. I've been told by more than one podiatrist. And if I were to have bunion surgery and not get false arches in my feet, this is like insane. Have surgically implanted false arches in my feet, then it would be pointless to just have bunion surgery because they would just come back like that. So I would have to actually, it's too invasive to do, basically. And I'm the real hero.
God, I had a question and now it's going out of my head, which might be for the best.
And none of it has to do with my bunions. I'm here to help.
Oh, do you think it's a part of your Neanderthal, like, genealogy, the flat feet?
I didn't until now. I mean, now this is all I'm going to think about. I mean, I don't know, because, like, my brothers obviously must have close to the same amount of Neanderthal genes that I have, and they don't have well, they might be flat-footed, but they don't have bunions. My mom did, so I don't know. It's a great question, Joe, but like most questions, I don't have the answers.
See, and my strategy with these questions was to get our viewers going, no, please, more Tony talk. More.
No, you misheard them. They said more toe talk.
Oh.
You're not, it's your tiny ears. It's your tiny ears.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's the lack of Neanderthal in you that has your connected earlobes and lack of hearing, because they were asking for not Tony's, more toes. Bill, talk more about the toes. Should have the SAG hack thing on the ready for what you were talking about too. By the way,
but
speaking of acting, you want to know where I'm going with this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Joe, you haven't had your coffee. Oh, you know where I'm going with this.
I know.
Yes. Okay, let me find it. Dude, I mean, breaking news. More than one person on the Twitter sphere sent me this bad boy. And of course, I just cut and pasted the graphic and immediately sent it to you. You guys, for no reason whatsoever, only that we appreciate his artistry, Nick Jonas is near close on a deal to star as, this is a weird casting thing, as Kiss leader Paul Stanley in Shout It Out Loud, the McG directed film about the formation of the venerable hard rock band in the 1970s. I'm not against it. I mean, the casting's weird, but this will be a movie that I will probably watch. Jonas will do his own singing, of course he will, and he'll need time to train to replicate the jet engine vocals of Stanley. Shout Out Loud focused on the formation of the 70s rock glitter band. What we call them, glitter? Stanley hardly fit the persona of a sex symbol frontman as he was growing up. I was deaf in one ear and had a slight deformity that made me look different, Stanley once said. I was the short, fat kid, and music became my salvation, a place to hide and dream. And when I played music, there were always girls around. Totally. Mike McG is zeroing in on a star to play. This will be interesting. To play Gene Simmons, the fire-breathing, blood-dripping, growly-voiced bass player who formed the band. They teamed with lead guitarist Ace Frehley, underrated songwriter, and drummer Pete Chris, and made themselves stand out by putting on face makeup, which scared the shit out of me as a kid, with each adopting different personalities. Now, Joe, I don't even know where to start here. I mean, again, I think let's just be very clear right off the bat. Why? Please explain to newcomers why I decided that this was going to be one of our main stories.
Well, because you're a Joe Bro fan.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now we can move on.
You
For
have
those
always
out
had an
there-
affinity for all things Jonas Brothers, especially Nick. And I'm not quite sure why you love him so much. I think it might be.
lips.
Well, okay. But I understand why he's doing this. Well, keep in mind, he just did the Frankie Valli Four Seasons movie. I think they're doing another one. Or did they? They shot one a while ago. I guess it still hasn't come out. But he's playing Frankie Valli, so he has that
Wasn't
going
that Jersey
on.
Boys?
Yeah.
I thought that was already a movie. Clint Eastwood directed that a long time ago.
Yeah, I think there's another one.
Weird.
And so clearly he does sort of know his type in that he is a singer actor. But in terms of character work, I mean, he's all over the board. But we're seeing a lot, right? Like Timothée Chalamet doing all that work to become Bob Dylan. I think that maybe Nick is hoping he could be doing something similar, doing the training, trying to get the voice right, spending some time doing it, and be taken seriously in this like music biopic sort of vein.
In politics, we would call this bloviating. Talking to really not say anything sort of is to avoid the main subject, the question that was actually asked. And that's sort of what you were just doing.
Hey, they haven't cast the full movie yet. I could potentially,
You look more like Paul Stanley than he does. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome.
That is so nice.
Oh, and by the way, I did send the Kiss graphic for us to use on this one. I guess I'm going to have to do this as usual, being the journalist in the group. No, for everyone out there, Joanne had a salacious affair with one of the judges of Miss USA after she had at least rightfully got her Miss New York crown. But as far as I'm concerned, there's some underhanded things going on there.
He was not a judge, Bill. He was a host. Okay. There was no affair. Neither of us were tied to anyone at the time. And it was truly in Joe Bro fashion, rated PG. So,
and well, yes, I think it's Joanne fashion too.
But you keep bringing it up. The fact that I am not even the one who keeps bringing it up,
yeah, of course,
should tell you how good of a person I am.
Fine, if that's the angle you want to take on this hard hitting story, where no actual hard hitting happened. Well, okay, now Joe, you of all people would know this better than anyone. The only thing I'm more obsessed with than male celebrity hairlines is, of course, height. Paul Stanley, I guess, is shorter than I thought, based on that quote I gave you. Mm-hmm. Where would we put Nick? Like, where is his? Where is he height wise?
I think he's maybe an inch taller than me. So I think like maybe 5'6" or 5'7". I don't remember.
So I was an NBA center compared to Nick Jonas.
I was always in very high heels when I was around him, and we were like the same height then. So I don't know. Maybe he's like 5'7", 5'8".
Now, in some of the like kinky cosplay stuff you guys would do, would he ever wear heels?
God, I wish we did kinky cosplay stuff. That would make my stories that much more interesting.
You are very
God damn. I should have suggested it. Knowing
also,
now all these different characters he's played, I'm sure he would have been game.
For anyone who wants to look up Joanne at Miss USA, you will also know that she is so goddamn emaciated that she would not have the energy for any type of kinky cosplay. I'm surprised.
Anyways, Godspeed, Nick Jonas.
Wow,
looking forward to what you do
the
next.
Northern version of Bless Her Heart right there.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Do you like what? Give me a visual face wise when you see him in the news. Is it just sort of like or is it more like a?
It's more like a I'm just still really looking forward to the day when I run into him on a red carpet or at an event.
I am too.
And I would love if there was just like a slight flash of recognition. I feel like that's highly doubtful. But just to run into him again with me at the height of my career, I think would be really satisfying.
Well, do you think if you were wearing heels that you would even see him?
Fair point. Hey, Speaking of men,
Sure. That's all I do.
I like this story you found about guys saying goodnight to each other.
Men are posting videos of their. This is oddly hilarious. They're posting videos of their bedtime calls to, and I love this word, Joe, befuddled male friends. There's no other word that describes the reaction. Social media trend has been surprising their friends with a call right before bed, and the results have been surprising. And you know what? A little heartwarming. When Deandra Scarborough, a 24-year-old content creator and college research coordinator, decided to call several of her male friends and his brother to wish them each a good night, he knew that they'd be thrown for a loop. I just assumed Deandra was a girl. Lying in bed with his girlfriend around 11 p.m., Mr. Scarborough made a call delivering the good night message to a friend who immediately responded with confusion and laughter and asking, "You good?"
Yeah.
Mr. Scarborough has seen the trend online and after some nudging by his girlfriend, decided to upload the video. He said that what makes this trend twice as funny as others is that it's so uncommon, for men to talk to each other so vulnerably. Well, I mean, just to do this, I think. Phone calls out of the blue could be surprising for many people in 2025, let alone male friends. This is part of the magic behind the trend on Instagram and TikTok, in which men call their friends to say goodnight. The videos have led to genuine confusion and surprise and a lot of laughter. The simple act of watching a man expressing that he platonically cares about another man has fascinated social media users, with the video stacking up millions of users. Good night, baby. I love you. His first friend responded in jest before genuinely asking if he was all right and if his wife was with him. After another asked if he was joking and shared that he couldn't remember the last time anyone said good night to him. Boy, I can't either. Was I just on your mind after a long day? He continued. You're always on my mind, Mr. Larinovich replied, holding back laughter. Let's see, 40% of women reported receiving emotional support from a friend compared with just 20% of men in a recent poll. And then finally, all the men interviewed for this article said that their female partners had encouraged them to make the call after seeing the trend. Nobody decided. No guy came up with this independently, apparently. Joe, thoughts?
I think saying goodnight is lovely, but when you start doing it out of nowhere, yeah, your friend is going to be like, "You good? Is everything okay?" Even if I just get a phone call from someone anytime in the day, I'm like, "Oh no, what's wrong?" So,
Yes.
yeah, I think maybe ease into it, maybe with like a little texty text first, then maybe a little voice note and you can send that. And then maybe you can do a phone call. But phone calls feel aggressive and or like an emergency.
Phone calls are the male penis of communications. For some reason,
Yes.
every time every time I hear the word aggressive now, I just think of you calling wieners aggressive, and I
Yes,
hate you for bringing that into my life.
they are.
But you're not wrong. But yeah, and like to that end, that's where it's not delightful, right? Because again, to your point, the only thing going on in your head whenever you see a phone call, period, is that something terrible has happened. So for this fun, jovial, cute little prank to begin, it starts with the premise that something terrible has just happened.
Yeah. But also the fact that these men need to turn it into videos or turn it into prank videos shows you again how insecure and how uncomfortable they are with showing their real feelings. Like the fact that saying, "Hey, bro, I love you. Like, I just want to say goodnight," it shows you how fragile the male ego is.
Interesting. I was just thinking, well, obviously I recorded the Tonys, but last night Joe DeRosa was in town, and he lives in Austin now, so we don't get to see each other as much as we used to. And to your point, the entire night he did a fun last minute set. He'd been drinking since 3, so I was very impressed with him because it was still funny. Last minute, the stand asked him to go on because someone else didn't show, and he still killed it. But were it not for that set that he did, it was just 5 hours of us destroying each other. Like to the point where some of them I felt were a little below the belt. I'm like, oh wow, that one really hurt. There was no nice thing that we said to each other the entire time. To sort of to your point, but but that was a showing of affection, I think.
Yeah,
maybe he was
that's
just
a version of intimacy.
That's the only one we know, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't, call your guy friends and say goodnight, but you do send them long descriptive text messages where you discuss violating them in various ways. So, same?
Well, no, but don't forget the murder, either before or after the violation. Sometimes during.
Well, sometimes you could say murder is the highest violation of them all.
It's more aggressive than the male penis, frankly.
Yeah. Yes. Gosh. But it's crazy how I enjoy documentaries about one and not the other.
Jerosa prefers the other. But yeah, no, I didn't even put two and two together until you said that. But yeah, it was just, and I'm hoping it was affection. I'm sure it was from my end, but it was the whole night was just destroying each other. Like, yeah, that was our good night, bro.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, what do you have for us?
You go first.
Oh, just you're so sweet. Bowery Boys Walks Guys. Next one's June 20th, I think, and then I'm also available for private tours as well. I'm easy to find. Joe, go ahead.
I just finished the book Court of Thorns and Roses, which was a very popular book. It's a series. It's fantasy. I've never really read fantasy before. And you know who else just read it was Courtney Friel. And she on her stories was like, enough of this fantasy crap. I want to get back to my adulterous and like mystery stuff. And truthfully, I feel the same way. I do. Fantasy to me always feels like a YA novel, like a young adult type thing.
I'm surprised.
And in fact, maybe it was. I don't know. But not entirely for me. So there you have it. I tried something new. Between my smut books and my psychological thrillers, I was trying something new.
Good for you.
But not for me.
Good for her.
Good for me. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
I'm sure glad that's over.
That's all for this episode of Mornin with Bill and Joanne.
I wasn't even listening. I was listening to podcasts.
Shut up, Bill.
Subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you get podcasts.
Yeah, I wasn't listening either.
Very nice, Joanne. Touché.
For videos of this and other episodes, go to @MorninBillAndJoe on YouTube.
Bill, put the sword down.
Run, Joanne, run!
Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We would do it for you. Okay, that's a lie.
I never liked your show.
Sorry, wasn't listening. See ya.